If you are studying for the USMLE, then this question always comes up. How do I study efficiently within the shortest possible time for the best results? Recently, the step one has been made pass or fail, and I see a significant number of people reporting that they have failed, and mostly I also get people who comment on my videos saying that they coming across my videos has been helpful to them. So if you are someone that my videos have been helpful to you, I want you to also comment and let me know exactly how helpful they are to you. Quickly, let me introduce myself. My name is Jerry. I'm a 2019 international medical grad based here in Texas of the United States. And currently I'm applying for March 2023. I'm in the interview season right now, and I've done a couple of interviews. So I've gone through all the processes so far, and then I am in the best position to tell you what to do. And if you follow my lead, it will help you. I want you to watch this video to the end because it's very important. So let's go straight to the point. So recently, a lot of people have been failing their exams. It wasn't so when the exam was scored, especially step one, when it was made pass or fail, and people go in and then they fail, even though it is pass or fail, and then it is not three-digit score. I thought like this time around, like when it's pass or fail, it should be easy to pass, but it isn't so because of several reasons. I don't know specifically what reason makes everybody fail, but generally, I can say inadequate prep. That is the most important or the number one reason. And so, in this video, I want to talk about how to study efficiently within the shortest possible time, in order to be able to ace the USMLE. So, first of all, you want to understand how the USMLE is being structured. So, especially for the exam test number one, your concepts, understanding of concepts. So basically, the exam is about concepts because they want you to be able to relay or take that concept from your studies to the field to practice with. So concept is number one. Application of the concept, mostly you must be able to apply them. Even if you understand it, it's not enough. The exam also tests speed. So this exam, the questions are very long, the question stems are very long, and so your ability to read fast and also apply this same concept within the shortest possible time. Each question is, you need about 90 seconds to read and answer the questions, and they are very long. So if you don't really understand the concept, then you're going to spend a lot of time to choose your answer, and that wouldn't be very good. The exam also tests your stamina because it is about 8 hours exam for step one, and it is 9 hours for step two, including the breaks. So it's really tests your stamina, and you must be someone who has that mental energy in order to be able to do well. You can be good academically, you can have good scores on your practice test, but if you don't have the stamina and you get distracted, then it could affect your scores as well. So this is something that you have to know. Concept, build your concept, work on your speed, and work on your stamina. Now, how do we do these things? So what I suggest to people is that you want to treat your NBMEs and your pre-exam assessments as though they were the exams. So if I'm doing an NBME, I want my environment to be as if it is the test day. No distraction from family, no distraction from the environment. You don't want to have books around. You don't want to cheat in the exam. You want to start practicing writing down the things that you would want to write down. Say if there are formula that you want to write down on the exam before you start, you want to practice how to write them down. If there are mnemonics that you need to write down, you want to. If there are certain charts in biostatistics that you want to write down, you want to treat the exam as such. Again, before your exam, you will do some prep, right? There will be certain topics that you will say for last minute and you want to review them. Say the images. I, for one, I make sure that the NBME images, I review them 3 days to any NBME. So, and I did the same for my exam also. So you want to practice exactly how you are going to take your exam. Just simulate the same thing that you are going to do on your exam, and practice it over and over, and don't change it when you go into your test. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is after understanding the structure of the exam, you want to also understand the exam content. Very important. You don't just learn anyhow because the books, the information are in the book, but the content of the exam is very important. So if you go to the USMLE website, you will find the contents of the exam. Now, if you look at these contents, you will know which ones that are your strong areas and which ones are your weak areas. Now, the advice is that it is better to know well or very well the information that you know, right, than to just read everything and then you don't understand all of them very well. So have some strong areas that you work very well on them, that so that on the exam day you will be able to make your best choices on those topics. Now, if you also understand the content of the exam, then you will be able to know that these are my weak areas, and if you have to work on them, you know how best to work on them. Another important thing is how to study. How to study is a very big topic. I've done several videos on it. You can check my channel. Different methods may work for different people, but you need to be able to study the USMLE way. You have to be able to commit things to memory. You have to work on your speed. You have to know the resources that you should be using. Very, very important. And you have to work on consistency, resilience. The exam, I say, is made to break you down. Like, if you are not someone who is very resilient, you will break down, you will give up on the way. And so you have to be very resilient and make your mind that you are going for it. Now, let me talk about how to use the resources. I've done several videos on each of the resources, like pathoma, if you check my channel, how to use first aid, but you want to understand how to use the resources. Very important. If there are some resources that treat certain topics very well, and some also treat other topics very well. So if I'm doing pathoma and I feel like pathoma talks very well about a certain topic, I'll focus more on that. Also, there are some topics that Boss and Beyond will treat very well. For me, I say from my experience, I didn't learn biochemistry from Boss and Beyond because I felt like it didn't treat it well the way I wanted it. So I rather use Dr. Najib. So you can shop from each resource and see which topics are treated the way you want it. So that is very important. I also did something like Kaplan. I only did genetics from Kaplan because my basis for genetics was weak. I wasn't improving on it. So Kaplan was very helpful in genetics, for instance. So you can shop from each of the resources and then do the topics according to the strengths. Now, next thing I'll talk about is how to learn for long-term use or long-term memorization. It is very important, very, very crucial. And you can read all the materials, but if you cannot commit them to memory for long-term use, then it's not going to happen for you. So what I mean is that in this exam, the materials are a lot. The first aid has been condensed, and so if you have to learn every sentence from that book, then you are going to be a genius that you can remember everything. But you should be able to remember enough to pass the exam. So you have to find different ways of committing this information to memory. One of the most important is knowing how to make and use mnemonics. Very important. So recently I've started doing some mnemonic videos on my channel. You can check it out. So mnemonics helps you to narrow down the amount of time you need to study concepts. Say if there are 10 causes of a certain disease, then if you know one of the causes you should be able to form mnemonics for the other courses so that it comes to you quickly. But it will be very difficult if you don't form mnemonics and you think you can remember all the courses on the exam day. There is no time for that in the exam. The exam does not allocate time for you to think. You have to just have your information at your fingertips. It should be like a second nature. Once you see the question, you should be able to pick the answer and move on. That is how the test is structured. So use mnemonics in your studies. Also make flashcards for spaced repetition. Very important. Start all these things at the beginning of your studies. Right on the first day that you start studying, start using flashcards for spaced repetition. Some people make notes, but I don't encourage that. Make your notes into your Anki flashcards and review them every day. Make sure that you try to review them every day, and so you will have the information in your mind. Now, it is very important to also know how to learn for exams. Very important. Now, how do you learn for an exam? Every exam has different structure, different things that is needed from you. So with the USMLE, how to learn for it is very, very important. If you know how to learn for it, there are several people who have talked about that. I have talked about it in my videos. You can also check it out. So these are some of the information that I want to give you. Very important. Take them serious going into this exam. I know you will do great, but remember, consistency is very key to you excelling. Thanks very much, and I wish you all the best in this journey. You can do it too. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.